Germany, a land steeped in history, carries within its borders a rich tapestry of culture and architecture. This nation, with its diverse landscapes and storied past, offers a unique blend of the ancient and the modern, the traditional and the innovative. From the grand cathedrals of Cologne and Ulm, which stand as monumental testaments to human ingenuity and faith, to the charming medieval townscapes of Rothenburg ob der Tauber and Bamberg, where time seems to have stood still, preserving the essence of a bygone era, the nation's heritage is etched in stone, timber and story. Each building, each street is a chapter in the grand narrative of Germany's past. This legacy reflects not only the artistry of its builders, but also the enduring spirit of the German people. The meticulous craftsmanship seen in these structures speaks volumes about the dedication and skill of those who built them. Each structure, each cobblestone street, whispers tales of emperors and artists, of merchants and revolutionaries, of a people shaped by triumphs and tragedies. These stories are not just historical footnotes, but are woven into the very fabric of the nation. The reenactments and the preservation of these landmarks allow us to step back in time to experience the lives and events that have shaped Germany's identity. The architectural styles vary dramatically across the country, a testament to the diverse influences that have shaped German identity, from the Romanesque to the Gothic, from the Renaissance to the Baroque. Each style tells its own story. Romanesque churches with their sturdy forms and rounded arches stand as testaments to an earlier era, reflecting the solidity and permanence of the faith and communities that built them. While Gothic cathedrals soar skyward, their intricate tracery and stained glass windows inspiring awe and contemplation, they also represent the human aspiration to reach for the divine. Renaissance palaces and Baroque gardens speak of a time of intellectual ferment and artistic patronage where beauty and knowledge were pursued with equal fervor. While the Bauhaus movement of the early 20th century ushered in a new era of functional yet aesthetically striking design, emphasizing simplicity and utility without sacrificing beauty. This architectural diversity is a source of immense pride for Germans and a magnet for visitors from around the world. Tourists flock to these sites, eager to capture a piece of history and to marvel at the architectural wonders. The preservation of this heritage is a national priority, a recognition that these structures are not merely relics of the past, but living testaments to the enduring power of human creativity and resilience. The ongoing restoration efforts ensure that future generations can continue to learn from and be inspired by these magnificent edifices. Museums and historical societies play a crucial role in this preservation, curating artifacts and stories that provide context and depth to the architectural marvels. They help bridge the gap between the past and the present, making history accessible and engaging for all. Educational programs and guided tours further enrich the experience, allowing both locals and visitors to delve deeper into the stories behind the stones. These initiatives ensure that the legacy of Germany's architectural and cultural heritage continues to thrive, inspiring future generations to appreciate and preserve their history. Before the cataclysm of World War II, German cities were a vibrant tapestry woven from centuries of history. Grand boulevards lined with elegant shops and cafes pulsed with life. Stately universities, centers of learning and debate, nurtured generations of scholars and thinkers. Public parks, meticulously maintained, offered respite from the urban bustle. There was a palpable sense of civic pride, a shared belief in the importance of public spaces and cultural institutions. Cities like Berlin, the capital, were not just political centers, but also hubs of art, music, and theater. The Berlin Philharmonic, under the baton of Wilhelm Furtwängler, was renowned throughout the world. Playwrights like Bertolt Brecht and Kurt Weill challenged audiences with their politically charged productions. The city's art scene, with artists like Käthe Kollwitz and Ernst Ludwig Kirchner, pushed the boundaries of expression, reflecting the social and political currents of the time. This rich cultural landscape was not confined to the major cities. Smaller towns and villages, each with its own unique character and traditions, contributed to the vibrancy of German life. From the beer gardens of Munich to the Christmas markets of Nuremberg, these smaller communities were the heart and soul of the nation, places where traditions were passed down through generations and local identities were fiercely guarded. The outbreak of World War II brought an abrupt and brutal end to this era of cultural flourishing. The world was thrust into a conflict of unprecedented scale, and the reverberations of this war would be felt for generations to come. German cities, once symbols of progress and prosperity, became targets in a conflict that would leave much of Europe in ruins. These cities, with their bustling streets and vibrant communities, were transformed almost overnight into battlegrounds. The relentless Allied bombing campaigns, while strategically justified, inflicted unimaginable destruction upon the urban fabric of Germany. Night after night, waves of bombers would darken the skies, dropping their deadly payloads on cities below. Historic city centers, with their irreplaceable architectural treasures, were reduced to rubble. Buildings that had stood for centuries, bearing witness to the passage of time and the evolution of culture, were obliterated in moments. The impact of these bombings extended far beyond the physical destruction. The very soul of these cities was scarred, as the places where people lived, worked, and gathered were turned into desolate wastelands. They shattered the social fabric of communities, leaving countless families homeless and grieving. The loss of homes meant the loss of memories, of places where generations had lived and loved. The psychological scars of the war, the trauma of living through years of fear and deprivation, would take generations to heal. The constant threat of bombings, the loss of loved ones, and the sheer struggle to survive left deep emotional wounds. The once familiar cityscape, a source of pride and identity, had become a haunting reminder of the war's devastating toll. Streets that had once been filled with life and laughter were now silent, echoing with the memories of what had been lost. The destruction was particularly acute in cities like Dresden, Hamburg, and Cologne. These cities, each with their own unique histories and cultural significance, bore the brunt of the Allied bombing campaigns. Dresden, known as the Florence on the Elbe for its Baroque architecture and renowned art collections, was firebombed in a series of raids that created a firestorm so intense that it melted asphalt in the streets. The city's cultural heritage was almost entirely wiped out in a matter of hours. Hamburg endured a similar fate, with hundreds of thousands of incendiary bombs igniting a firestorm that killed tens of thousands of civilians. The inferno consumed entire neighborhoods, leaving behind a landscape of charred ruins and unimaginable loss. Cologne, its magnificent cathedral miraculously still standing amidst the ruins, was a stark symbol of both the war's destructive power and the enduring spirit of the German people. The cathedral, a beacon of hope and resilience, stood as a testament to the strength and determination of those who survived and rebuilt. In the immediate aftermath of the war, Germany lay in ruins, its cities shattered, its infrastructure decimated. The once bustling streets of Berlin, Hamburg, and Dresden were now scenes of desolation and despair. The war had left an indelible mark on the landscape, with buildings reduced to rubble and entire neighborhoods obliterated. Its economy was in shambles, with factories destroyed and transportation networks disrupted. The people were grappling with the trauma of defeat and loss, their spirits crushed by the enormity of the devastation. The task of rebuilding seemed insurmountable, a Herculean effort that would require not just physical labor but also immense emotional resilience. Yet amidst the despair, a spirit of resilience began to emerge. With characteristic determination, Germans set about the daunting task of clearing the rubble and rebuilding their lives. The early years of reconstruction were marked by pragmatism and necessity. With millions homeless, the priority was to provide shelter, food, and basic necessities. Makeshift shelters sprang up, and communities banded together to support one another in these trying times. The architectural style that emerged from this period, often referred to as Trümmerfrauen architecture, reflected the scarcity of resources and the urgency of the situation. Buildings were functional and utilitarian, devoid of ornamentation. The Trümmerfrauen, or rubble women, played a crucial role in this effort, tirelessly working to clear debris and salvage materials for reconstruction. Their contributions were a testament to the collective will to rebuild and move forward. These new structures, though austere, symbolized a new beginning. They were a beacon of hope amidst the ruins, a sign that life could and would go on. People began to move into these new homes, and slowly but surely a sense of normalcy started to return. The faces of the people, once marked by despair, now showed glimmers of hope and determination. A belief that a better future could be built from the ashes of the past began to take hold. As the economy started to recover, so too did the pace of reconstruction. The Marshall Plan, a massive aid program funded by the United States, provided crucial financial assistance. This influx of resources was instrumental in jump-starting the rebuilding process. Architects and urban planners grappled with the challenge of rebuilding cities that were both modern and functional, while still respecting the historical legacy of the past. This tension between preserving the old and embracing the new would become a defining characteristic of German urban development in the decades to come. The blending of modern and historical elements created a unique architectural landscape, one that paid homage to the past while looking forward to the future. The story of Germany's post-war reconstruction was one of resilience, determination and hope, a testament to the human spirit's ability to rise from the rubble and build anew.